we're going to get started here. First things first, you need your blocks. So hit tab and open up your blocks. We're going to grab the starter block, a mirror block, an identity unit. We're just going to throw those on the bar. Whatever works, doesn't really matter. The next little bit here, we're going to go over here. I'm actually going to change the bar, and this is going to be our basic hull. So we're just going to grab each of these. We're likely to use all of them. Actually, we're likely to not use that corner block. And I'm going to grab the half slab, the wedges, the 2x1 wedges, and that's going to be about it for here for now. We'll need plenty more as we go, but you'll see those changes as we go along. On our number 1 slot, we're going to move back over to this bar. We're going to grab ourselves some engines, a chair, and of course a cushion, and I'm actually going to move those engines over one. We'll grab a power block because even though they're not really needed in game, it's useful to have. You never know if you're going to need it later. Next up, hyperdrive, of course. And we're now going to go to the button piece and grab this holographic display. Actually, we still have 3 slots here, so we can go ahead and grab some colors. I'm going to grab some bluish gray. I'm colorblind, so I tend to work in grays. It's just one of those things. But, you know what, we'll grab a sea blue. Why not? We're going to leave the other bars open for the moment. We'll need them later, I'm quite sure. So our first move is to drop our starter block, put a mirror block on top of it, and an identity block. This is how I start all my ships. It's a very, very effective way to do things. We're going to right click here, and I'm just going to name this Build Along 1. We hit rename blueprint, and then you're going to hit the F1 key. That's going to save the build as is. There are currently 4 hotbars available in game. You can cycle through them. Our next job is going to be just right-clicking and holding on top of the starter block. And you're going to hold Control, and you're going to extend out. We're going to go about 30 meters. So when that number gets over 30, just let go of your right-click, and it should make you align. We're actually going to delete some of this and bring this back up. We're going to leave a little section here at the front. What this does essentially is, in a lot of games you have to have a starting block, and that has to be integrated into the ship. In SkyWanderers, that's not the case. That means that all of our blocks that help us build are going to sit back here out of the way so that we have free form and we can do whatever we want up here. Easy day. So we're about 35 meters in front of the block over here. No big deal. And we are mirrored, so we can build out whatever we want. So next up, I tend to start at the front of the ship, so somewhere up here-ish. So that's where we're going to start for this build. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and we want a good 3 block gap. This is where we're going to start wrapping things around. We're going to grab a wedge, stick it in there, sort of bring this back, and that's going to be sort of like the overall shape of the canopy. We'll replace a lot of these blocks as we go along, but for the moment this will do just fine. The next thing we want to do is add some bulk to the ship. So if this is our canopy, we can grab a little wedge, throw that down, bring this back, yes, you can, and we'll be covering that soon. But we're going to go ahead and make like a little Y shape, almost like a tuning fork. And this is going to start the basics of our ship. I'm actually going to go here to this hotbar, and I'm going to grab a couple extra blocks. We're going to go to this 3rd tab. We're going to grab some windows. So 1, 2, and 3. That should be about all we need for the moment. Yep. And we're just going to kind of build this out. Actually, you want to put this on the inside of this block, not the inside of that one. And that's going to actually get these turned the right way. And we're just going to walk it back. We'll actually get rid of that. We're going to jump back in here, and I'm going to go and find a special block. Here we go. It's right here. This is the block we want, and we're going to actually make a nice big open canopy. Like so. We got a little bubble. We'll see. Alright, our next little bit, we're going to add a block here. I'm actually going to delete this wedge. We don't need it anymore. And we'll bring this up. And then we're going to grab this little corner that we had before. Stick it right in. Now, here's the thing. There's a slight error at the time of recording where these don't go in quite right. So we're going to come back and we're going to break this mirror block. Come back up. Grab that. See, that aims the wrong way. However, if you grab that surface, it works just fine. We'll go back, stick the mirror block back on, and get back to work. Get rid of some of these guide blocks. We don't need them anymore. And we're going to start bulking out a little bit of this ship. Alright. We're actually I'm gonna try something here. Now we want this canopy to actually, you know, be able to be seen. As best we can. And we'll come underneath. And get rid of some more guide blocks. Not god blocks. What am I saying? I don't know. There we go. So we've got this little weird framework. And from here we can work and make a lot of different shapes. Alright? So, step one here is going to be connecting up this area. We want it to look nice. We don't want it to look weird. So we're going to actually, yeah, this should work just fine. We're going to make a straight bar across here. And we're going to come back inside, grab our blocks, go to this particular piece here. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. Grab ourselves, not this block, but this block here. This is a half corner. And we're just going to slap that in. And that gives it a kind of nice look. Now what we can do is later on we can cut out this and clip some blocks through. And it should give us a nice look. And that also opens up a lot of interior space, which is always a nice thing. Actually, I wonder if we could get away with this right now. So if we do this, we add these half slabs. Ooh, actually, that was my mess up there. Let's do this. There we go. And now we have this smooth gradient on the inside. By the way, just a little bit of help. Just hit L. That'll turn on a little light. It'll make working on the inside here a lot easier. So there we go. Now what we need to do is bring a piece underneath so that we can see out easier. And so that we have a floor. Floors are useful, I've found in my life anyway. This is our little bit of basics, and we can actually go ahead and add in pieces, like so. We'll make this a little bit of a fun build. So I think this build needs some headlights. So we'll go ahead and place a block here. And one of the fun ways to do headlights that I've found, these are always on, but we can change the colors no problem. We just use engines. We can come back over here to the third tab, and I'm going to go to my open bar here. And we're going to look for a block that we like. Maybe this grating. Stick that in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover this whole thing here in just a moment. The way we're going to do that is going to this tab here and grabbing these blocks, or this bit. We only need one on either side. The rest will happen no problem. We're going to go back to this third tab, grab these guys. Actually, we're going to grab the flat ones right here. And then we're going to grab the standing long thin pieces. And we're just going to do so. And now we've got a couple of headlights. Actually, we can easily move this up. I bet you this would look better in the front. Yeah, I like that. Hope you do too. Alright. Oh. I seem to have popped through something there. We can delete this block, and we're going to go ahead and switch that out with a wedge. I think it'll look better. And then right here, we're just going to need a... We can fill this with a wing slab. Like so. Grab ourselves a one line. Stick that there. Wing slab. And now, it's perfectly self-contained, and it looks in the right place. At this point, we're just going to hit 1, and hopefully that will save everything. We're going to actually start kind of working on a little bit of bringing all this back. So we're going to place our 4x4 grid, and then go back to the third tab. We're going to grab this wing slope. That looks just like a wedge, but it doesn't interfere with our canopy at all. And that's really the trick of it. Alright, so I can see a spot for improvement. I like sleeker looking ships, so we're going to go ahead and take this part here, actually get rid of it a little bit, and we're going to replace some blocks. So we're coming back to our main bar, and we're going to delete 4 blocks. This is what we're going to put in place, like so, and like so. And that's going to give it a little bit more of a sleek profile. We're going to do the same here. Gives it a little bit of a nicer look. Yep. We're saving with F1. periodically. We're going to grab a regular wedge, just set it right there. We'll come back to this spot in just a little while. Now, we have these little guidelines. We're going to pull them back just a little bit. This is going to end up looking a bit more like a helicopter, as it turns out. And that's okay. We're doing all this freeform. So we'll go ahead and increase our surface area here that we can play with. And we want to have a couple of, we'll say, engine pods perhaps? Kind of here off to the sides. You want to give yourself enough space to do it, of course. So, we'll go ahead and take a look. There we go. This is what we've got here. I'm thinking, yeah, that could totally work.
Good luck with the
thanks
slow
for
descent
the
into
follow.
madness.
Let's go ahead and bulk this out a little bit. We just need to place a block up here. Get that pointed in the right direction. We're going to hold that control button. Bring it out. Come on now. There we go. And now we've got little winglets. I think they're kind of cute. We're actually going to bring this back in a taper. I think this is going to look a little weird, but I think it could work out pretty well. You guys can feel free to do whatever you want to do with this part. But we're going to bring this back. Now, one of the tricks to this that I'm already seeing is that we don't have a block for this particular shape. And that's fine. One of the tricks that we can get away with is using color to make this piece stand out, and this will look like it's holding on to it instead. So we're going to go down to the color, and we're going to do a little bit of coloration now. So let's make this blue. Like so. And then we can grab our gray and make it look like it's holding on. We can actually grab that as well. And underneath, and we're good. We're going to go ahead and delete this block, mostly because I have an idea. We're going to go over here, and I don't know if this will work, but it'll be interesting to try. We're going to grab on our big hotbar, and we're going to put this in slots 9, or 8 rather, and 9. Oh, went through. That's alright. We'll have to come up with like a little trick for this. And that's alright. That takes a little bit of time to figure out. Well, we're going to leave that alone for the moment. Because apparently my idea won't work. Although we can kind of get away with something along those lines. Alright. So, at this point, we've got a decent little canopy front end here. We got a couple of headlights because why not? We can go ahead and change those to a weird blue. Actually, I like this one. You know those people that shine those super blue headlights at you? Yeah, we're gonna be one of those people. There we go. And of course, you can actually recolor the canopy if you want. I actually really like this blue for it. Oh, missed a block. That's what you get for being colorblind, apparently. We're going to go ahead and take a save. Alright. So that gets us quite a ways in. We've got ourselves a little canopy. We got ourselves a little grill. And we can actually bring in some extra brickwork behind that grill later. And I'll show you how to do that. For the moment, we've got ourselves our wing pods and our main sort of shell here. We're going to be extending that shell significantly. But we also need to bring this back around soon. I'm going to go looking for a block, and you guys can do this as well. I think what we might use is these air vents. Or perhaps these half spheres. Actually, I like the half sphere better, so we're going to stick that on our bar, just wherever, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to grab ourselves a block. For behind it, I'm going to use a half block because I don't actually know, I just want to use a half block. And then we're going to stick that right there. And we'll color that. I think it works. It's weird looking, but I think it works. Alright, our next step is going to be to cover up some of this bottom part. So we're going to grab that, the wedge that we were using earlier. We're going to extend that back. We can also do this little corner. So we're going to bring open this set of blocks. And we're going to use that 8 and 9 slot again. And we're just going to place these in. That makes a nice smooth finish to it. We're also going to fill up a little bit more on the floor here. Snapping blocks your hotbar. You mean just clicking here and then snapping, or yeah, you just hit the number that you want the slot to be in. So if I wanted to put this block here in, say, 9, I just click the 9 button and it'll go to the 9 button. And you're done. Alright, our next little bit. I almost kind of like how cute and small this is, and almost want to leave it and just sort of bring in a tail. And we might do that. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. We're going to hit F1 as a reminder for all of you. And our next little thing we're going to do is recognize that we need ourselves a pilot seat. We don't have one. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our blocks, fill in our little space, and come over here to our seat. We're just going to use this regular one, and we're going to grab a cushion, because I got rid of that cushion earlier. Set it to the center of the brick. Do the same thing here. One of the nice ways you can do cushions and that sort of thing, or rather seats, is come here to bricks, go to this one, and then grab this here. Actually, it'll be this one. And we're going to stick that on our bar. 1, 2. And as you sit down, you've got a beautiful, beautiful view. Again, this is a basic ship. It's not necessarily going to be the end-all be-all, but it'll do for us. We're going to also grab our 2x2 here. We're going to place that roughly right about there. And that'll let us build ourselves a nice little command console. Grab our bricks. And we're going to need this one here as well. So we'll go ahead and put that in. And we're also going to come here to the buttons. And we're going to grab this control dual joystick. Oops, I placed that in the wrong spot. There we go. So 1, 2. That forms the base of our little console. Bring it up one more. Put the stick in. And then we're going to go ahead and... oops. See if we can do this. You might have to hold the button down somewhere else and then bring it onto the spot. But, as you can see, we got ourselves a little control joystick. We're going to hook up the logic here shortly, but for the moment, this should do the trick. We got ourselves a nice little seat. Let's go ahead and paint that while we're here. Give it a little bit of blue trim. Like so. Hey, thanks for the auto host outpost. Yep, you can raise the seat if you wish to do so. For the moment, I think it's fine. Alright, so we're going to keep this nice and small. It's going to be a little bit of a glider. That's what we're going to kind of go for. It's going to be a little odd, but I'm totally down with it. I think it'll be kind of fun. Again, this is really to teach you guys the basics of building. So we're going to go ahead and place a block up here. Bring it on back. This is going to form the tail end of our craft. We're going to add nice big gliding wings to it in the end. And we're going to go ahead and place a block here, like so. And we're going to go ahead and grab this block again and bring it across. It gives us a nice little segmented look. I kind of like it. And of course, what we can do to differentiate that from everything else is paint it a different color. So there we go. Now we're going to start wrapping this up to sort of form a tail. We're also going to need to end up adding some landing gear. So let's paint the bottom of the ship a little bit, like so. And we'll go ahead and paint here too. Easy day. And while we're at it, let's just kind of go nuts with the colors. Whatever colors you guys want, not a big deal. I'm going to do these blues because I enjoy it. I'm going to leave this one here blank. I'm actually going to paint that a different color. Bring that up. Nice big band like so. I think it looks nice. Oop. Let's get this one too. And lastly, we're going to go ahead and add that line. And now we have our cute little ship. We're going to have to bring this part here up to connect with the rest of the ship, but that's easy enough to do. Let's go ahead and grab a couple blocks, like so. And then we should be able to simply grab these, bring it down, and that's going to be the back end of our ship. Easy day. We'll go ahead and paint that too while we're here. Why not? There we go. Of course, we're going to need some engines, and we're going to put those right down here. So let's grab our circular engines from earlier. I think they're going to fit better with the overall aesthetic of the ship. So we got a couple of engines here. One of the things to watch out for with these is if you bring them up and you put them kitty corner from each other, you, well, you can see what happens. However, if there's a block in between, you don't have that problem. Just something to keep in mind. Now, let's go ahead and begin filling this out. We might be deleting some of these blocks later. That's okay. So we're going to make sort of a 45-degree angle coming up. We'll definitely be deleting some of these blocks. In fact, we can do that right now. And then we're going to grab our wedges, bring that down, and there we go. Paint that up again. And actually, for this bottom part, we can actually switch up the colors again, make it look like it's part of this bottom hull. Make sure you hit F1. Now, right here we want to add an engine cowling, so we're going to go to this third tab, go to the air vent, and go to the third one over. It has this nice little cone hollow shape. Place that over, and you get yourself a nice little engine glow. We'll go ahead and paint that engine while we're here. Why not? And considering everything, the rest of the way that this is, let's grab ourselves a bit of black. I think that'll look good. Now there's a reason we raised this up a little bit, and what we're going to do is come over here, grab our 1x4s, start laying them in. Like so. And we're going to look for our wing pieces. We're going to grab our wing here. And we're just going to start building this out. So, like so. And we're going to go a little bit further. Oop, there we go. We're going to give it a nice little glide wing for planetary landings when that becomes a thing. Feel like this could use a control fin as well, so let's go ahead and add that. We're going to grab those 1x4s again, set them in. And we'll do one more set right here at the edge. We're going to come back in here, grab our wings. We're going to go with these right here. Half slab wedges. We're also going to need, well, we can use the standing ones. That should be fine. Like so. And we're going to make sure that these little nubs here are pointed up. Hit this front one, bring that back, and we'll leave this one here flat. Oop, put that in the wrong spot. Oh, come back here. This is a little tricky. It looks like there we go. We'll go ahead and paint these. I think what we want to do is we want to make these top ones sort of a blue, and this big wide piece of gray. Now it looks like it could actually make planetfall. Let's go ahead and save again while we're here. Now, now we have a few options. What I think what we'll do is bring this area forward and start adding in our door. Let's get rid of some of these interior blocks that we don't need anymore. And while we're at it, we'll just paint that. And we can grab that one too. I think that works out. Alright, let's bring this floor up a little bit and get ready to start with some logic work. So, we just need to get to our block here, no problems. Bring that across. And actually what we'll do is we'll get rid of this, and I'll have the door kind of swing up here. What we do need to do for sure, though, is bring this in somehow. I'm going to try a few things. We'll see how this goes. Yes, we do have a block for this. So we're going to go to this tab, grab our half blocks again, and we're familiar with this, but let's go ahead and grab this one here. Like so. We can delete these. We're actually going to bring it out one more. And then we're just going to put that in. And looking at it, I actually think that this could work a lot better with this color here. Little stripe. And lastly, we can actually get rid of this block here. We're going to have to go underneath to do this. But that's okay. I'm actually just going to build it straight up through here. We're going to grab this one, place it there, and there we go. And now it's connected. Get rid of this giant tower in the middle of everything that doesn't really work. And we'll go ahead and find ourselves another color. There we go. Now this we have a block for, actually. And it's going to be right here. It's that first one that comes up. And that fits just right. I'm going to go ahead and take that save. Now, we need to bring this, thicken this out, bring it down to about here so that we have enough space for our door. I think we'll try doing something like this. Give it a little bit of an edge. And I don't think I want it to be much thicker than that. So, just sort of bring this in. Let's get back to painting here. There we go. Yep. Alright, our next move is going to be to come to this bar, grab a spaceship core, and we're going to finally add that in here. Now you can put this wherever you want, for the most part. Make sure you set it on the floor, or else it won't. The ship won't really know where the floor is. So we're going to get rid of this mirror block. I'm going to do this asymmetrically. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and set my ship core, like so. We're actually going to do a little bit of logic work. So we're going to grab this 4x4 panel. We're going to stick it somewhere out of the way. I think back there will be fine. Grab our quad enter gate. This is important. You need to get the enter gate, not the link gate. I'm going to stick that in that corner. Connect that up to there. That's a right click. And then we're going to come over here, right click on this, bring it over and connect it to the blue button. Just hit R here and we can spin this around. It's now a flyable ship. Obviously we're not done yet, but that is the start. This lets you orient easily to the light as well. Let's see if we can't get a nice spot here. There we go. Should be in a little bit better light. We'll bring this up a little. Shouldn't be a problem. There we go. So we placed ourselves a ship core, and for later what we'll do is we'll grab this hyperdrive unit. We're going to put this on this side, and that way, even though it's asymmetrical, it's even. I also want to take these power pieces, and while we don't need them currently in-game, I'd like to just sort of stick them like this. I think they look nice. And we'll use this for control panels and the like when we start detailing in just a little bit. We're going to come back and place our mirror block again. Alright. So, when we get to the interior detailing, we're going to flesh out a lot of this. Obviously it's very bulky right now. It doesn't have a lot of form. That'll change very soon. However, there's one special block that I want to give or show you guys very quickly. We go to the button, the system bricks. We're going to grab the speedometer. We're going to stick it right up here. Trust me, this will save your life when you're flying around. It's very hard to judge how fast you're going. With a speedometer, you'll at least know. Alright, so we've been doing a bit of detailing. We're going to come back to external detailing in just a little bit. What I'd actually like to do is take these wings and sort of slide them out a little bit. Actually, no, we'll go in. That should be fun. That'll be different. So we'll go ahead and place one there. And we're going to go ahead and place this standing one, but make sure that that little L shape is faced outward, so that you get the little nodes on the outside. Oop. And this can happen a lot. I'm not particularly good at placing these, but go ahead and place those all the way back. We're going to do this again. I'm going to leave the last ones pretty straight. Like so. And actually, what we can do is get rid of these two. I'm going to come back into the wings really quickly. And there's the half wedge. This is what we want. Adds a little bit of a dimensionality to the build itself. And now we can go in here, grab our wings small. And then we're going to go over here to the brick and grab just the regular wedge brick. And put that down. And then we're going to repaint the stuff we just changed. Alright. Now, what we need to do is we need to bring this up a little bit further. I think what we'll do, grab a brick, or a block rather, bring this up, and we have the block to cover that up, no problem, and we'll repaint. And this is where our door will go. However, we need some landing gear. It's a very flat bottom hull right now, and that's a little boring. So, we're going to come over here, we're going to grab a hinge. I think this is the right one, I'll tell you in just a moment. It should work just fine. So we're going to grab 3 of these, like so. We're going to lay them out just like that. While we're here, we'll go ahead and grab this constant gate, and we're going to stick this on the inside. I'm actually going to need to break this, this mirror block again very quickly. So right here, we'll go 1, 2, 3. We're going to connect each of the red pieces up to each of the hinges. We don't actually need any, actually, you know what? Let's do this slightly different. We're going to use the mix block. It's not usually used this early on, but we should be alright. So over here, we're going to place another one. We're going to grab this mix gate. We're going to place 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. We're putting the red pieces to each of the hinges. Each one will have the same number when we're done. You'll see what I mean by that. So, each one is there, and we're going to go ahead and grab, over here we're going to grab this 2x4. We're going to stick it right there. And that gives us plenty of logic space in here. The last thing we're going to do before we really get started is grab this quad link gate, not the enter gate. We're going to set it right here. We're going to put each of these to each of the blues. Easy day. Alright? That means anytime we hit this blue button, it will enter, or it will attempt to bring out the, or run the commands here. Next up, we're going to have to figure out exactly how far we want these legs to go. We also need to know, what are they going to look like? So, we're going to build this out of bricks. I'm actually going to grab this 2x1. We're going to place this on each of these. Alright. We're going to need our small cubes. We're also going to need these little guys. Oops. Let's put that back. We might be able to use these as well. Feel free to play with this. These are just going to be our landing legs. There's a ton of different ways you can do this. It's not a big deal. Whatever way makes you happiest. But we're going to start here, and we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a little leg, like so. And then we're going to go like that. That's going to be our main leg area piece. And we're actually going to do this a little differently than how I would normally do it, but that's okay. We're going to grab this first short arm.
Okay, good luck with the slow descent into madness.
Actually, build out 2. 2 works much better. Ooh. And see, this is the beauty of building. You can switch things up. We're going to actually go like this. And then we're going to grab this 2 to 1 right here. Okay? Easy day. We're going to replicate that over here. Now, you can do some child entity spawning, which allows you to kind of copy-paste these child entities. However, that does tend to cause some errors in the game, and for the moment, this is good practice. 1, 2. I'll do the same thing here. Alright, so we can go ahead and paint really quickly. Let's go ahead and paint these. Actually, let's grab some new colors. I think that'll be nice. Grab that black there. Maybe a yellow? Ooh, that's very yellow. Let's not use that yellow. Maybe that neon orange. Yeah, I think that works a little bit better. We're going to grab the black, and we're going to go ahead and get those. Oops. That's alright. We can repaint that, no problem. And then we're going to go ahead and get that. And we'll paint the hinges while we're here. Why not? You can actually get this top layer as well, if you're real careful about it. There we go. Now we'll bulk these up once they are moved to their proper positions, but for the moment this will give us a good idea of what we're working with. So we'll come inside, and here's what we're going to do. On the leftmost white block here, we're going to go into degrees, and we're going to type in 120, push and exit. And we're going to do that for all of these. Yep. You should see, we have ourselves little landing legs. Now what we can do is we can bulk these up so that they look a little bit better. I think what we'll do for that is we'll grab our bricks. We're going to grab this one and this one again. We'll actually do it this way. There we go. Bring this down. That makes it seem a little bit bulkier. And then what we can actually do is like so. And if I remember right, there should be a little block somewhere around here. Give me a moment to find it. I think this would work. I'm just looking for those shapes. Just like that. And what we can do now is delete, I believe it's just this one. And that way it goes away, and it looks a lot nicer. So we'll go ahead and do that over here too. One of the other things we can do for sure is bring this up. If you don't have, if it doesn't allow you to connect, you can always connect from a different point. guess I got rid of that. Hold on. Let's grab this. Should be fine. Go in the wrong direction. There we go. And we're just going to do this a couple times. And then we go back to painting. And yeah, we have teensy little feet, but they'll work just fine for our purposes. Now, we can come back here, and what we're going to do, as you can see, we have all of this stuff set up, but what we really want is a way to toggle this. So we're going to grab a button and a switch. Oops. Let's actually put that button there. There we go. Now what I want to actually do is make this console a little bit more ornate as well. A little bit nicer. So we're going to grab this short arm that we were using earlier. Stick this on the sides. Actually, I wonder if I could get away with this. This is a little bit of an experiment for me, so we'll see how this works. I want you. Let's try this. Add a little button, and then we're going to go for that switch, and we're going to put this switch just up here, wherever, connect it up, and then we're going to grab this button and connect it up to that switch. Here we go. So as you see, we have our landing legs extended right now. And if we go and click this button, if I can get to it, there we go. You'll see the landing legs just sort of tuck away on their own. Go ahead and make a save now that we've done a little bit of logic work. Definitely a good idea. And I didn't paint this earlier, so let's go ahead and paint that. Alright. We're doing pretty good here. We got ourselves a cute little ship. Now, we still need to do a fair amount of logic here on the inside. And I haven't really decided if I want to use a hinge here or if we want to use a regular rotator. I think a hinge will work best. One of the things that we want to do for the moment, though, is we want to have these legs extended. And we'll go ahead and paint this too. Why not? We'll go here. And here, and then like this. I think it'll look nice. There we go. So we want to know how far down this is because we need to figure out the angle of our ramp here at the back. So let's go ahead and grab our hinge. We'll use this page. I've been working out of this a lot, so that seems to be fine. And we'll go ahead and place that. And when we click, it rotates out to here. Works just fine for our purposes. Now, one of the nice things is, this actually has brick pieces, I believe on this side here, yes. Let's see. So we'll actually use this here. And we're going to go and grab our wing slabs again, because I think they look nice, and I think they'll work for us. So we're just going to make a little bit of a wing slab there. like so. Now we're going to add on to this as we go, and obviously it does some weird stuff. We're going to use that mix command again. So let's go grab that block. We can actually put it right up over here. So we want that red to there. And now our left side here, this is going to be specifically the closed area. So let's set this to say 45. Push and exit. Now that's pretty close. Actually, that's pretty much dead on. Now from here we want it to go downward. So let's set, if 90 is going to be a perfectly straight line, which would make 135 a 45-degree angle downward. Let's set this to 120. See what happens. See, that looks about right to me. Not quite sure. But what we can do is we can come in here. We're going to push and exit. Now, you might find yourself trapped in a ship, and if you do, just hit the right bracket a couple of times. You'll go right through it. No problems. So there we go. So now we have this nice flush line. We're going to go ahead and add some more wingy bits. Like so. And of course we can dress this up a little bit. We can grab one like that, one like that, and put this across. It's okay if that clips a little bit, not a problem at all. And we need to fill this spot here as well. So, I think what we'll do is I'm going to grab block here. Actually, this works quite well. I'm just going to kind of cover this up. And we're just going to tap this really quickly. And it's going to screw up, but that's okay. There we go. And we can come back here, push and exit. There we go. See? Covers up quite nicely. Let's go ahead and grab our 2x4 panels. Oop, looks like it deleted a block. We'll go back and fix that in a minute. These can be a little tricky to get laid in correctly. It's not too bad. And now we're going to go here and grab this one. This is a wide, long brick. It's under your bricks tab. And we're going to lay these in. Let's fix that while we're here. And we can go ahead and paint a little bit. Kind of following our other color scheme. Actually, I feel like this would actually be really good right here. We'll get these here in a moment. Now, what we need to do is we need to grab another switch, attach it here, and we now have a proper little door. Oop, there we go. And we've got a little ramp. We can walk right on in. And we'll add a little button. We'll add 2 buttons, actually. So we're going to come here, we're going to go for this 1x1 here on this grid. We're also going to grab a button. So our first one, let's go ahead and close this really quickly. So our first one can go right here, just a little in. This will connect up. I don't know what's going on there, but that might just have been my own misclick. Now on the back here, we'll go ahead and close that up. Now what we want is to find a nice spot, and actually I think right up there would be perfect. Oop. There we go. And we're just going to tap this again. Have it open all the way. Grab that. We're going to connect that up to the switch as well. And now, you can open it up, come outside, click the button, and you've got yourself a closed little ship. Obviously not everything's in the light, but we'll fix that in just a little bit. Now I have a little error here, so we're going to do some cleanup really quickly. So just easily replace the blocks. See if there's anything on this side. I don't think so. Okay. Pop it open. There we go. There we go. Easy day. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this open up a little bit more. So we're going to grab these blocks. Now we don't have symmetry on right now. We're going to change that in just a moment, I think. Although a lot of the interior will be asymmetrical, so what are you going to do, right? But we've got ourselves a little button for the landing gear. We got our door over here. And we've got our main control area. Now, what we need to do is dress up this interior because it's, let's be honest, it's pretty ugly. I just want to check and make sure that everything else is kosher here. Alright, we are going to do some detailing here on these engine pieces still, but we can save that for a little bit later. What I am going to do is do a little bit of cleanup, make some stuff look a little nicer. So we're adding a few little wedge pieces across this, and I do need to add in our mirror blocks. But now that we have an idea of how big this ship is, we can actually add the mirror blocks to the ship proper here in just a moment. There we go. We can also extend a little piece here. This might actually look nice. Let's try it out. Now I'm just using these blocks as guides as I place things. We're going to grab this block here and we'll just see. We'll just see how that looks. Doesn't quite work for me. If we had this tetra, I think it would work well, but as it stands, I'm not super enthused about it. But there is one thing we can do. Let's get rid of these two. Alright. Easy day. Actually, we'll keep this one. We'll keep this one. I think it works. What we can do is we can go to this third tab, and there's a nice little block here called a light rod, which is not what it is, but we can set that right there. And that adds a nice little roundness to it. And we can go back, grab ourselves a regular half wedge, and there we go. And we'll cap this off in gray. I think it looks quite nice. Get that one in blue. I think that works better. We can do something very similar back here, if we so desire. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do yet, but it's an option. We can do some extra stuff here. Alright, so we have our little power pieces here. I like the looks of them. I'm actually going to go ahead and use this space here for a bed. So we're actually going to get rid of that little hyperdrive. And we're going to stick it on this side. Actually, I think we can get away with... Do we need that? Nah, well, we might. We'll stick it up here somewhere. Just place it wherever. It's not going to be much of a big deal. We'll cover this side here with tables and charts and things like that. This side here is going to be our bed. So, let's grab a few new blocks. Okay, I can't use that. That's fine. So, what we need to do is cover most of this. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You can actually just put a block there if you want. It'll cover that stuff up, no problem. But that's not really what we want to do. I want to have this accessible at some point, or more easily accessible perhaps. So let's see if we can't find a nice block. Perhaps this wall slab will do. Something like that. Let's see. Alright, so that is our... We're actually going to switch this one here to a full block, though. Because that won't change anything. And that'll look nice there. We can actually put a screen or something like that on this side. We'll get rid of this power block. Place a block here. Like so. And we're going to have to bring this in just a little. There we go. We're going to go back, grab our 4x1s. We use these a lot, but that's because they're really good at what they do. Just give us a lot of options. So we're just going to kind of cover this wall so we have a nice line. We're going to come back over here. And we're going to pick one of our... I think we're going to use the wing slabs again. I really like these, I'm not going to lie. I think they're really nice. So now we have our sort of bed laid out. We're going to come back over here and we're actually going to grab this super thin half slab wedge wing. We're going to go like that and like that. And then we're going to grab just the half slab wing tile thin long. We're going to attach it right there. Alright? Easy day. We'll close that up just so we know what sort of space we're working in. Now, our next piece is going to be, we'll use our 2x4s. Sort of, oop. This is a little tricky. You want to kind of hit that center and like that. So that's going to be our pillow in the end. And the way we can do this is grab these corner bricks. I really like the way that these turn out. We're just going to kind of walk them all the way through. And then like that. And then along here, we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to grab the 4x4s. 1, 2, we're going to use the last 2x2 right there. Could have done it a little bit easier in a way, but this is just the way that it works logically in my head, so we're going to grab these. And for this last little bit, I think what we'll do is we're going to go in here, grab the bricks, and actually we're going to flip this a little bit. Because think it'll look better the other way. So let's go ahead and... Oop. There we go. Doesn't really matter how we do that. We're actually going to flip the direction of this, so it'll be 1. Ooh, actually that would make a nice little border sort of looking thing. Like so. And because these don't have like proper textures, it's going to make this look a little bit better. There we go. Next thing we're gonna do is start picking colors. So let's pick the Bordeaux, and we'll use that here as the outside. Oh, I don't like that. Let's do this to look a bit like a blanket. We're gonna make this gray here, gray slab for a... We use Blue Lagoon. I don't know what most of these colors are, but that's okay. We've got ourselves a little bed here now. We can also stack some stuff underneath, but I've actually sunk myself into the floor a little bit, which is actually helping me. Come on now. And what we can do is put a couple of little quasi-springs in here. So we're going to grab our 1x1s, and we're going to grab our little short arms again. Oop. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, that should be fine. Now those aren't going to reach all the way, but we do have blocks that will, so we're going to grab this round tile. And this is a little tricky. You might have to break a block to get in. You just kind of gotta... Yeah, this is always a little tricky, but... Just... cover that up. And then we'll do... that. And those should connect up just fine. Now that's annoying the crap out of me. Usually if you hit a corner, it kind of works. Eh. There we go. I'm a little bit anal retentive when it comes to this stuff. Oh, you're gonna give me some problems today, aren't you? Ah, I see what I did. Okay. 1, 2. Done. And we'll replace these. And we'll get that. There we go. So now we have ourselves a little bed off to the side. And on this side, what we're going to want to do, at least for the most part, is have some sort of maybe engineering table. Do we want to have storage? These are sort of the questions you might want to ask yourself here. One other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a little switch here. This is going to become important later. It's not important quite right yet. Right here we can do perhaps a little screen. Grab that 4x4. Come back over here, grab the larger monitor screen. Just stick this right here in the center. Nice little blue screen there, blue screen of death. Change that to whatever color you want. And we can actually attach this, if I remember right, here. I don't know if it's going to work the way that I think it will, but I know those are currently being sort of tweaked. Alright, next up, we can actually... 1, 2, 3... Well, we'll see. Grab some more bricks. I'm actually going to move back over to this page. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just trying to encase this a little bit. Make it feel a little bit more secure. Like so. And we'll do the same thing here. Paint this whatever color you want. I'm going to use that same blue that we were using earlier. And why not? That'll add a little character. And we'll go ahead and make these blue as well. Now what we can do here is actually sort of dress these up, the walls specifically. We're just going to use regular blocks to do it. It doesn't take much, but adding a little bit of sloping across the whole thing actually adds quite a bit to the overall build. It makes it feel a little bit more lived in. And that's really part of the trick. There we go. And so that gives us a little bit more character. And we can actually go ahead and go... We need the 2x1s actually for this. Like so. Like so. We'll grab these nice longer rods here. Make it look a little mechanical. Little details like that really bring a ship to life. We can also do a little bit of piping across the top. We're going to grab our little 1 block. We're actually going to bring this pretty high. Right about there is fine. We're going to grab a pipe. We'll use these ones. I'm going to grab 2 different kinds here. So our first little bit. And then we're going to turn it. Oop. Let's turn it that way. Out. Like so. Make it a nice big red pipe. It's very red, at least to me. Let's make it a brown pipe. Alright. So, dressing up a ship, you know, with these principles really adds to a lot. You can do a lot more in here with that. We can actually add a small set of shelving units, all sorts of stuff. What we actually might want to do, because the last thing that we really want to handle is the galaxy map. And I'm trying to think of the best way to do that, because it's a little bit tricky. But what I think we'll do is we're going to get rid of this block. We're going to move it one last time. I think we'll just put it here. I think that'll be fine. And we're going to do a little bit of stuff with rails very quickly. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab the small brick rail. We're going to grab both of these. Alright. And if I remember correctly, this should work just fine. Set that there. And should be able to do one on top here. Oop. I might have to do it somewhere else. Here's what I'll do. Little workaround trick. We're just going to place a regular block. Like so. And then bring this here. Get rid of it. Done. Now, we're going to grab this. Set it right up to that piece, and that will allow us to slide a little piece back and forth, and this is going to be a little table. What we really want to do here is get rid of this block, go full, don't need it quite that big. Grab ourselves. We'll just use the 2x2. Stick that here on the edge. We also need a button, so let's go ahead and add that button right now. That way we can work behind, with everything behind there a little bit easier. So that button goes there. Easy day. We'll actually get rid of this, so we don't need it to go very far.
Okay, good luck with the slow descent into madness.
Bring this forward just a little bit. Actually, we'll use the same blocks we were using earlier. This little guy. I find a lot of uses for him. It's very useful block overall. But we'll just bring this down. What we're going to do is we're going to actually cover all this with paneling in the end. But for the moment, we're going to leave it alone. Now, we're going to use a small galaxy map, and they don't look quite as good as the other ones, but for what we are doing, I think they're pretty much the ideal solution. One, two. I'm going to come back over here and we're going to grab this small hollow display. Just set it right there. And we're also going to add a... we'll add a button. Where do we want to add it? We'll just add it there, I think. We're going to grab one last switch. Stick it just like that. And we're going to connect this up to this hollow display. Connect the hollow display up to the little piece here. And this button to there. Oop. There we go. That's going to be a little tricky. I might need to move that around, but we can now move that out of the way. Let's actually use... what would I like to use? That's the real question. I think some of these blocks way down here look really good. Do that. I'm actually going to move this button here. We are almost done. Believe it or not. Let's do a button here. This will be where our turn the hollow map on and off button is. Yeah, I probably should, but that's alright. That's alright. Sometimes you're going to want this extended and not have it on, I believe. But we're going to go ahead and add a little piece across here. What I want to do is I want to put this in. Okay. I think we can do this with a 2x2. Just in. Just in. Let's go back to our wing stuffs. Like so. Grab our bricks. Nope. Actually, that's pretty much fine. That could be interesting. Let's try it. Don't quite like it, but... you will need lighting as well, so we'll just put in a couple pieces here. You can actually do floor lighting if you want. I actually like this better for the use. And we'll just use some panels. I'll have to do the workaround again. That's alright. It's because it's not connected up to anything, I think. Unless I can get away with... Let's try this. Okay. Okay, I might have an idea here. I'm wondering if I can raise this up by 1. So this is where things get a little bit tricky sometimes, and that's alright. Actually, here's what we'll do. We'll make this really simple. We're just going to grab this 2x2. We're going to set it... Actually, let's grab a 4x1. Or 2, that was a 2x1. We're going to grab a 4x1. We're going to just set it across here. We're going to make this easy. Easier is better. At least in my opinion. We're just going to put a wing panel across. Like so. And where's our little slab of thing? There we go. There we go. Easy day. And now, got ourselves a little table. Just sort of color that in. Like so. So if we open this up, of course, because I don't have that connected to a piece down there. Hold on. See? You always forget something. Always forget something, and that's alright. Stick that in there. And that won't show up in just a moment, because... Let me grab this. Cover it up. Grab that, and we're going to repaint really quickly. And now, oh, did I not? Ah, I think I know what I did. Okay, that might just be an error. That happens. Yeah. So we're going to save really quickly, because I just did something kind of stupid, and we'll have to reload. I'll go ahead and switch back now. And we're going to put the finishing touches on this build. It won't be too difficult from here. We can actually go ahead and do some basics here. Let's see. Now it works just fine. Sometimes there's little errors like that. You just have to watch out for them. We have a nice little space truck here. We're going to go ahead and dress up a little bit of the inside here and make it look a little bit better. We're going to just add in a few little pieces, like so. These actually make a huge difference in the end. They sort of break up the interior a bit. We're going to do the same thing on the top. Like so. And we'll go ahead and color those in as well. Easy day. And so we had a few questions about turrets. We can actually add that logic right here. It'll look just fine. So we're going to do a separate set of logic for the turrets, or for the turret rather. It won't be too difficult, but what we want to do is we'll turn on the light again, because that helps a bit. We're going to come back to our bricks, grab our little 1 to 2 brick, like so. And we're just going to move this back. We're going to use a little short arm brick again. I like this brick. It looks really nice in my opinion. And we're going to grab this one here. We're just going to flip this. Oop, that's not where we want that. And neither is that. Let's see if we can't fix this. Should be alright for the most part. These are always tricky to get just right. So you might have to finagle it a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and bring that in. And we're going to go down to our control dual stick, and we're going to grab this little joystick block here. And we're going to go ahead and play with this a little bit and potentially get very, very mad as we don't quite get it right. Let's come to this side. I bet you I can get it from here. Yep, there we go. You want to make sure that L is facing backwards. Alright? I'm going to go ahead and come up here, color this in, no problem. And we'll come back over here, use our 4x1, or 2x2, that's the one. Place that there, come over to our buttons. We're going to grab this turret computer. We just want to set it in here. I usually like to make sure it looks nice in its placement. So we're going to try. Might fail a little bit. That's alright. We want to get it right up on this thing, if we can. I think that'll be fine, actually. Actually, you know what we can do? We'll hide this away a little bit. We're going to grab that 2x2 rather. Again. We're going to stick it under here. Hiding logic away is always a fun little exercise in insanity. Let's just put it here. This is easier. This will be easier for all of you as well. So we got ourselves a little turret block. We're going to go ahead and grab this joystick, right click on it, and connect it up to the turret block, and we're going to leave it alone. Just for a few minutes. We're going to do our the last little bit. You obviously need a little, or want a little bit of defense. So we're going to add that here. And we'll just sort of make that look a little nicer while we're here. There we go. And we can just make that go away. No problem. So, let's go ahead and come up top. And actually, let's turn this ship around so it's in the light a little bit for you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so I think we deleted the ship core at some point. That was my bad. We're going to put that back in. Like so. And we'll recover that in just a second. I'm going to delete this block. Delete that block. And this should be our link. Easy day. we just need that same block that we were using earlier, the plate B. That'll go right there. Paint it. We'll cover this up in just a minute. I do want this open for us, but there we go. We should be in the light now. And we'll grab that. And we just need this block and we'll put it back. There we go. No problems. And we'll come up top. Now we obviously just want a little, we're going to do a very, very small turret. Nothing too major. Oop. I'd like some stellar drone. Because that's copyrighted. There we go. Yep. So, we're going to place a 2x2 up top. This is going to be a very small turret. It's not going to be very effective, but it's going to give you some kind of protection. So we'll go ahead and place that facing forward. That little L pointy thing tells you what direction it's facing. And we'll grab our bricks. Grab these two. So one of the things with this is if you just click, it'll just start rotating, and that doesn't help anyone. So if you hold down right click while you're not facing it and then bring it on, a lot of times what'll happen is you gotta do it just right. It's kind of a pain. There we go. So we're gonna actually get rid of these two right there. Bring that up, and we're going to set our second turret rotator, like so. Alright, easy day. And we can actually, if we want to be a little bit more correct, we can put those on there, and that makes a nice little turret block. Alright, easy day. Just sort of bring this out. And now we get to kind of dress up our turret however we want. I'm going to keep it very simple for this one. Just a little piece here, and actually what we'll do, here's how I'm thinking we can do this. We'll do instead of that, we'll grab these. Like so. And this is going to be our little turret, so we're just going to stick a little laser unit on here. It's a little ugly, but that's okay. Now we can dress this up, and we'll use our gray again. We'll use a blue layer in here. Just sort of make that look nice, and let's make that blue. I like that. Alright, so that's actually our turret right there. We're now going to hook it up. It doesn't take a lot to do this, so we're going to go back inside and grab our turret block, and you can see these little lines here. This one is horizontal, so that's going to be our horizontal plane. So we're going to come up and we're just going to attach it right there. We're going to do the same thing with the vertical. You can see this one is a vertical line. we're just going to attach it right there. And we can just jump in here. And now we can fly it. And if you hit F4, you'll go into third person mode. And you'll notice the turret tries to follow you around as best it can. It's not perfect. There are better ways to do it in a way, or in a sense. But for the moment, I think it'll work just fine. It's the basics of how you set up a turret, though. Now we want to dress up this chair. This is where you're going to be sitting a lot of the time, right? So we're going to go ahead and add our 2x4 across the top. Add 2 pieces here. We're then going to go and grab our wedge long, like so. I'm going to break this block here just so I can get underneath it. 2, 1, 2, and we'll grab ourselves a couple of medium arms. We can actually just bring those all the way in. And we'll use this to kind of cover that up. Actually, I bet you this would look better with blue. I'm going to do that. And grab, use that Bordeaux paint again, I think. Or actually, use brown. I think it'll be fine. Now it looks like a proper chair, if you ask me, anyway. And we'll color code our buttons. So green will be our landing gear, right? This will be the table. So actually, and what we might want to do is use our red for the airlock, because if you jump out the airlock, that could be a problem. There we go. And of course you can color your lights however you wish to do so. But we only have about 2 last little things to do. And that's really here on the engines. I don't really like them just sitting there, sticking out. So we're going to kind of cover them up, make them look like they're integrated into the ship. You can add a camera to the turret, Citronics, and I'll show you guys how to do that after we're done with this. But I'm trying to keep this very basic. So we're going to grab our 4x1. We're just going to go right along here on the center line. We're going to do the same thing down here. And because I don't have symmetry on, we're going to actually redo this. Now that we know exactly how big this ship is, we don't really have to worry about too much else. We can come right up here, set the symmetry in line with the ship. We'll delete that block later. We won't need it after we're done. But for the moment, we'll just do that so that there's 2 on either side. And we're going to go back to our wings. Grab these ones. And then grab our standing ones. I'm going with a 3 here. I think it's just going to look a little bit better. And you can see, now those engines at least look like they're being held on. And let's use that black color again to make these look like they're part of the wing, or part of the engine rather. And we'll fix any colors we screw up. There we go. It's a cute little ship. Now obviously we can add a lot of extra detailing across the entirety of the ship. If we want, we can do something like come here, grab the 1x1s, and we're going to grab these hoses, and I'm actually going to use this third one. Looks a little bit more industrial. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now this might be a little far, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Oh, I screwed that up. Okay, we need to destroy the origin block. This one will go here. This one will go here. Okay, it looks like there's a little slight error with that. That's okay. Okay, we have a little error there. That's okay. Adds a little character. Go ahead and save. And I'm going to add just a little bit of color detail here. Easy day. Across the bottom you can add paneling, whatever you want to do. I'm going to add just a little bit of like ribbing here, like so, because I think it'll add something. I'm not entirely sure what, but I think it'll add something. Let's grab these ones, go center line. And we will grab these super long pipes here, like so. And one here in the center. And we'll use that same color here. I bet you we could even get away with doing this real quick, and we should be fine. And actually, I bet you we could do the same thing here. Let's do that. I bet you it'll look better. And we can just sort of add in a few extra blocks here and there. Whatever sort of works for you best. And we've got ourselves a cute little space truck. to break this top block here. You've got a nice view out the front. Nice large canopy. And you can actually streamline this if you want. You can bring this down significantly if that's what you want to do, and it's completely up to you. I'll go ahead and say that this is essentially where we'll get to with this sort of building with Raven sort of episode. Some of the other alternatives that you can follow, if you want, is if you want to go over here and grab, I believe it'll be this block here. You can actually streamline this a bit. All you have to do, sort of bring this back, and you're just going to click here and that streamlines the build a little bit, if that's what you want. So let's take it down to the planet and check it out. Now we can always hit our little landing gear. Switch to maneuver mode and bring it down. There you go. This is a pretty solid first little ship for you guys. Hopefully, if you followed along, you have something at least somewhat similar. And hopefully I didn't do a terrible job at doing all this. There's a lot you can add to a build like this, a lot of detail, etc. Feel free to do so, and share anything you come up with on the SkyWanderers Discord. I'd be happy to see it. In the meantime, this has been Raven. I'll see you next week for probably a lot of abusive rails. That'll probably be our next topic. Enjoy! I'll see you next time.